10.8 volts, let go, 0. See that? 10 volts straight to it, through my thumb. Hey guys, Steve here with 6 Star Automotive. I got a lot of requests based on the last couple of videos I've done about voltage drop and stuff, about what exactly I did. I didn't go really into too much detail as to exactly how I did it. So here's all the equipment that I used, and I'm going to create a quick circuit, and I'm going to show you what I did and some tips and tricks about how to use these tools. Let's get started. All right, first off, multimeter, LOADpro. One thing that's really special about the LOADpro that I do like is that it's got these tips. So what you can do is, you see how it's kind of got this little concave end here? So you can sit it on a tip of something, like inside of a connector where you've got a terminal, and you can get a good bite directly on the tip of that sharp connector, rather than, you know how it always is, you're trying to get it and trying to like hold it in there with one finger while you bite your tongue. And anyway, this super helpful if you don't have the jitters. So the reason that I use the power probe instead of just the LOADpro to do voltage drop tests is that I want to get straight to the battery. And that's one thing that the power probe does, is it allows you to go directly to the battery. You got a banana plug on the tip, and you can basically turn this end into either a detector that allows us to figure out power or ground anywhere else in that circuit, or we can put power to ground like so and pop our circuit breaker. There we go. Or put ground to power and pop the circuit breaker again. So it's a really awesome tool. It allows you to do whatever you need to do, but be very careful, because as you just saw, you can blow some stuff up. The special thing that I was doing in the video was I was using this ground lead. So the power probe has an attached ground lead. You can use this guy as like a cheater, because you know, you don't got 3 hands, 4 hands. So if you're doing voltage drop tests, you take your negative clamp and you can just go directly to the negative lead of your meter. And that allows you to have the meter sitting where it needs to sit, and whatever connector you're dealing with, like so, testing like this, rather than having to hold the ground over that. Awesome. So then you can check powers and grounds. But let's devise a quick circuit really quick and kind of get an idea of what I was doing. Okay, so what I've got going on here is that we've got ourselves a circuit. I've induced a failure. So imagine this being one wire, right? So in this case, we're going to show how important this voltage drop testing is. Because, so say we're at the connector right now, right? We're looking at the bulb, we have the bulb disconnected, we're looking for power. So the power should be going straight through to the other side, if the bulb is solid, right, to ground. So if we check this, we should have power, right? If we have no power, then we know we have a problem. But watch this. I'm just going to take my thumb and touch these 2 contacts, and watch our meter. Watch the meter. We have 10 volts. My thumb, 9.8, 10.8 volts. Let go, 0. See that? 10 volts straight to it, through my thumb. So this is why you can't just say, oh, it has power, right? So if we load test, watch, we're going to load test the power. Meh, nothing. 10 volts. Now we're going to use the button on the LOADpro to load the circuit. So we're going to go to the power, load test, gone. So what this shows is that this circuit has a failure. Right. All right, so here's our simple circuit. So we've got power going to the light, the ground side of the light going through a fuse. Alrighty, so we've got our simple circuit. And say there's a problem. Circuit doesn't work. All right, our bulb doesn't light. We replace the bulb, bulb doesn't light. Ideally, what we would see, as everyone knows, we should see like so. Ground, power, okay, cool. But see, now you're assuming that this would fix the problem. But the issue with that is that you can have ground and not have a good ground or a good power. And that's where the load testing comes in. So this is what I was doing in the video. We've got our voltmeter hooked up. we can test our positive side of the circuit for power. As you see here, 12 volts, 12.5 volts. We're gonna load this, and it's gonna drop to 0.3, 12.5, 12.38. So what? 12 millivolt. That's good. Okay. Now on the ground side, what we can do to test the ground is that what I was saying in the video is that instead of having your power probe ground lead connected to ground, you can switch the ground lead to the positive side. So that way you have positive directly to here. But you have to be careful because now you have an exposed positive. So I got this put together about 6 p.m. on Labor Day. Kind of just jammed it together to give you something. I plan on doing something probably a little bit better than this, with a bit more real world, like on a car. I've seen a couple of videos where they try to explain it the way that I did here, and I'm not loving it. But I'll have something better come out soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helped. But remember, you can always come by to experience a 6-star difference for yourself.